Continuing a conversation with Long Beach Police Chief Jim McDonnell. Chief, police staffing is always an issue, and public safety is right on the top of public concerns. We're staffed now at about 780. We do have an academy coming in for the first time, which is good news.
Very good.
But talk about police staffing levels and its importance to public safety.
Yeah, we have 700, a ballpark 780 sworn right now. That is a reduction from where we were just a couple of years ago. We've worked with the city family to try and be able to let them know what our needs are, but be also aware that for whatever we get, someone else gets cut. So we've looked at the public safety picture holistically to try and put the best package we can together to meet the needs of the city. Has it been a challenge? Absolutely. We continue to work with the city manager, the mayor's office, the council, to be able to come up with some innovative ways to be able to reduce crime, to be able to keep the community safe. We feel very fortunate to be having given a 50-person academy that'll start at the end of May, and hope out of that class we're able to graduate at least 40, and to be able to get the 40 people through the field training officer process, and then move forward with an eye towards hopefully being able to achieve a new academy each year as we move forward and eventually grow in the size of the department.
But in fairness, the 40 that we would get from a successful academy would just about cover the attrition for police retiring or leaving, so we would not be building up the force. We would just be stopping the drain downward.
Right, and that would plateau us, if you will, for this year, and then hopefully in subsequent years we could start to look at an increase in the numbers to be able to build the department again.
And you mentioned at an earlier show that if we were able to rebuild the department to the levels from several years ago, about 200 more officers, we could really turn around this spike in crime.
Well, I think, for every additional officer we're able to put on the street, we get a lot of bang for the buck. We're very lean in this city as it relates to police officers, and I feel that we use those officers in a very efficient manner. And like I said, for every officer we're able to deploy, we see a result.
I know that cameras were recently installed in Drake Park, where there were a couple of unfortunate incidents. Speak to the use of cameras in public spaces as a deterrent.
Right. Yeah, we don't try and hide the cameras. We let people know there are cameras in the public spaces that they're walking through, and hopefully that will act as a deterrent to inappropriate behavior or criminal behavior. And for where it doesn't act as a deterrent, it's a great tool for us to be able to locate, identify a suspect, apprehend them, and then on the back end for the prosecution piece, it's also a tremendous aid, so we don't go through a lengthy trial. Oftentimes when somebody's we got them on tape, we'll get a cop out, reducing the expense and the time of a lengthy trial.
And look at the critical role of cameras in this Boston tragedy recently.
Right. When you look at that the cameras in a very short time allowed them to make the case against the suspects that they currently have in custody, and then once they got that initial very important lead, they were able to roll back, do warrants, and to be able to put the full case together, and that's still playing itself out.
Do you plan to ask the city specifically for additional funding for additional cameras in public spaces in our city?
We'll continue to work to that. We always look to grants. We look through to the general fund budget where it's appropriate, but as importantly, we look to the private sector, the business sector, and so many people in their own businesses and their own homes have cameras. The ability for us to be able, over the internet, to link into those cameras and to be able to use those through Long Beach Common Operating Picture, which is kind of the hub of where we get the camera feeds throughout the city in an effort to be able, hopefully, to provide real-time data to officers who are responding to an incident. The camera feed could be pulled up. The dispatchers and communications, the analysts there, could be able to tell them what they're seeing at the location that they're deploying officers to at that time.
Great. Switching subjects for a moment, gun control is on the national agenda. The president's been arguing for a registration of owners. Also, some are arguing for a ban on assault weapons or large magazine weapons. It seems to me that our police and public safety officials should not be outgunned by the bad guys, that you guys should have more powerful and effective weapons than those out on the street. What is the argument? Well, we know what the argument is, Second Amendment, but have police departments stepped up and weighed in on this debate?
You know, I think so. I think that police executives around the country have taken a pretty strong position on that whole issue. Recently, the proposal put forward by Senator Feinstein was not successful in being passed and continuing on. The major city chiefs throughout the country took a strong position in support of that bill for limiting the size of magazines, high-capacity magazines, the assault weapons, and then also encouraging background checks on individuals for mental health issues and other issues. When you look across the board, though, for policing, not everybody's on the same page. When you look at police leaders in urban areas, their perspective is different than those in rural areas or more rural areas. And you see police chiefs vary from what sheriffs across the nation believe as well. So there isn't one voice from the police community, and that's something that will continue to play itself out, I think, as time rolls on.
You mentioned sheriffs. There's been some talk about you possibly running for LA County Sheriff. Any comment on that?
Yeah, no, I'm looking very seriously at that opportunity. I think everybody who's plugged in is aware of some of the issues that they've been dealing with at the Sheriff's Department. You have a great department there that I think some fresh eyes, a new perspective, and maybe a new way of looking at doing business over there would be very helpful. So I'm continuing to look at that. And
I know you worked on the county commission that was investigating violence in the county jail.
Citizens Commission on Jail Violence, right.
Okay, we'll be back with the chief after these messages.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
When I was a boy growing up in Italy, I had a dream to own my own store. I came to the United States and I worked hard as a tailor. Hi, I'm Umbrato. I've been in Long Beach since 1960, carrying the finest quality men's clothing. Italy's a long way away, but styles are just around the corner. Umberto, 2141 Bellflower, Long Beach.
I'd like to take you somewhere where nobody else can go. Only the two of us know.
With Charter, TV will never be the same. Now you can make a date with your favorite movies and shows anywhere and anytime with on-the-go content from Charter.